Well, I wanted to make this a couple days ago, but I didn't want to risk. I didn't want to risk making it, and then the Artemis crew didn't make it back safely. So I wanted to wait for that to happen, which I had faith in it happening, but just to play it safe. So I saw this a few days ago on r/atheism, which I don't really visit. I just sometimes I'll end up on the feed of a sub, and despite being atheist, these people are disgusting. These are cockroaches. I mean, they are just detriments to the world. Now, first of all, this subreddit is not really about atheism. It's about people with Trump derangement syndrome. It's about tearing down Christianity. Like, you can have discussions. You can have discussions about how religion affects reality and whether or not something is good or bad. But this is just, it's just people trying to destroy Christianity. Very rarely they'll mention something like Muslim, and they'll usually use it as a comparison about how Christianity is worse. And then clearly you can see the post here from when they were celebrating the death of Chuck Norris, which is just pathetic, but it is very Reddit of them. However, as I was saying, it's about the astronauts, or at least that's what I'm using here as a proof of how terrible Redditors are and how terrible r/atheism is. So there's this thread here, 23 hours ago. This isn't actually 23 hours ago. I've had the tab open for a while, but a disappointing amount of religious BS being spouted by Artemis 2 astronauts. Then you scroll down a little bit. Disappointed with Artemis 2 Orion sign-off. It's 23 hours ago. There's another one a little bit further down as well. Here it is. Artemis 2 flyby religiousness. All posted at the same time. All quite popular. You can look through most of this. It is literally just accusing the right wing of being PDF files, accusing Christians of it, like Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Trump. That's all it is. It's not about being an atheist. It's about being an asshole. That's what this subreddit is. It's about being an asshole with Trump derangement syndrome who celebrates people's deaths for some reason. So here's these threads. The people who are mad that the astronauts are religious, that they said something religious. These people, say 3.9 thousand, 9.7 thousand, 768. These were all posted around the same time, all different threads. These people understand nothing about heroism. Imagine in 1969 when they go to the moon, or before that when it's announced. Like, do you even think? Do you ever even imagine? It's not even like a thought of like, can you do it? You just don't even think about it. You never think about like the actual act of going to the moon, the process of it. Like it's not even in your mind. And then someone says one day, hey, "Did you know that we're going to the moon?" You're like, "What? What? You crazy? What would go through your mind? What would you even imagine?" I've thought about this so many times, and I've been thinking about it more and more over the past few months, even before they mentioned the moon base and all of that. But I've been thinking about how that inspires people, the concept of that. Like, no one would have ever even imagined this back in the 1960s, and then suddenly it happened. And people absolutely lost their minds over it, right? Like, it inspired people, not just in the USA, but everywhere. It inspired people to be different, not just inspiring awe in them, not just inspiring them to just look up at the moon with their mouth open, but to be better, to be different, and in a way to be heroic, to make something of themselves. And this religiousness that they're adding to it, it's part of that. There's so many people in the world that are religious. There's nothing wrong with having a little religious message. I mean, what do you want them to do? Go up there and say, God isn't here. Looks like all your gods are fake. I mean, what a very bastardly thing to do. And these people on Reddit, that's what they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear the astronauts go up there and say, yep, all your gods are fake, screw you. And that's their definition of heroism. I mean, how pathetic. They're mad that the Artemis astronauts talked religiously as they orbited the moon using some of the most advanced science and engineering available to the human race. It's just so pathetic. And yet it was the Artemis that got him there. All praise the daughter of Zeus. I don't even like, Jesus Christ. Well, moving on, there is another story about this, which is from r/SipsT. This is just as pathetic. So, the astronauts aboard Artemis remain quiet during Trump's call is the title. It says Trump's call to Artemis 2 goes viral for the wrong reason. This is a TikTok. So you expect it to be on TikTok, you expect it to be on Reddit because it's just trash. I'm not going to play it because, as you may have guessed, there's nothing to listen to. It's just supposed to be quiet because the astronauts weren't responding to Trump. That's the joke. And funnily enough, a lot of the people on Reddit actually hate this because
To share our gifts and help you achieve these mutually beneficial goals, like establishing a presence on the moon and eventually going to Mars. And Canadians are so proud to be a part of this program.
Well, I have to say I spoke to a very special person, Wayne Gret.
yeah, it turns out they actually did respond to Trump. They talked to him. Isn't that interesting? And yet here's Reddit cheering for them staying silent, is what they think anyway. A lot of people are pointing out that it's fake, and a lot of people are like this. Even as someone who's anti-Trump, I think this edit is so stupid. There's a lot of people saying that, but then there's other people who are even more pathetic than the people on r/atheism, calling these scientists bootlickers for talking to Trump. These heroes are science. Trump is anti-science. Science. F Trump. F MAGA. Then someone responds with, these heroes spoke to and bowed to Trump from literal space. As others have pointed out, this is an edit and the astronauts are just more bootlickers in a position to call him out, but too cowardly to do so. Oh, man. Someone has to do something about Reddit. I did see that there's Reddit's crashing out recently about a story of Trump's apparently has people investigating some Redditors over their anti-ICE comments. I don't know if that's true or not. I need to look into it more because I did think about making a video on it. I would absolutely love to see that. I really hope it's true. Reddit and people on social media in general, they get away with way too much, and the bureaucracy is way too slow to process these things. It needs to be sped up immensely. Like, even if you have 8K footage of someone doing something colorized, you still have to wait years to have it tried in court, and that's why none of these people are ever charged. They can go on the internet and just make threats. They can dox you. They can ruin your life, and they'll never be charged for it. And well, unless it's against a politician or something, and even then maybe not, because I've seen plenty of people on Reddit say plenty of awful things about politicians, plenty of dangerous things, but I just thought this was exceptionally pathetic to call astronauts bootlickers because they had the audacity of talking to Trump. And mind you, if they didn't, then they would have never gone to space. They wouldn't have been allowed to. They were probably asked to make the religious comments as well. And, like, what do you expect them to do? What do you expect them to do? Or say, oh, no, I'm going to pass up on going to space for probably the only time I'll ever be allowed to in my entire life. The only time anyone may be allowed to, who knows? And that's all because they have too much pride. They're not going to talk to Trump. Even if they don't like him, you still do it. The Redditors can't understand that because the only thing they have to lose in their life is their Wendy's job. Like, it's not a big deal to talk to someone on a phone for 2 or 3 lines of dialogue, is it? And then you have these pricks down here on Earth calling you bootlickers. You know what they're thinking when they say that as well. These astronauts are now on the list. No, not that list. The death list. The extreme left has just gone off the deep end, and I don't see them coming back from it. I'd like to see it, but I don't see it coming back. They're crazy. They've gone crazy. Just talking to Trump, an astronaut talking to Trump, and there's no heroism there. They're not heroes. They're bootlickers. They're so hateful, and so am I. Thanks to them, I just made this video real quick to hate on them, hate on the obnoxious, pretentious atheists. Despite me being an atheist, these people are just horrible, and hate on Redditors in general. Hate on the TDS crowd. They filled me with hate, and it's not a pleasant feeling. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do the YouTube things.